You ever look back at someone and wonder, did they love you? Or did they love who you were when you needed them? I met Emmanuel at a time when my world was falling apart. I was 21, broke, and living out of a friend's garage with peeling paint, a broken fan, and a mattress that sank in the middle. My mother had just died of cancer. My father was long gone, and I had no one. I was a girl with nothing but oversized dreams and second-hand shoes. He was the guy who smiled at me during night lectures in school, who bought me shawarma when I hadn't eaten all day. Emmanuel wasn't rich, just a campus hustler selling phones and power banks, but to me, he was everything. His love felt like safety. Like, maybe, just maybe, I wasn't invisible in a world that constantly ignored girls like me. He said I was special. Said one day I'd be more than anyone imagined. He was right. But he didn't stay to see it. At the time, I believed in love, like kids believe in magic. Blindly, fully, completely. We studied together, laughed through hard days, and shared plans for the future. I told him I'd own a fashion line. He told me he'd manage the business. We'd be a power couple, me the dreamer, him the anchor. Sometimes we'd sneak into the back of the school library, just to imagine what our office would look like. I'd sketch designs on torn notebook pages. He'd assign fake prices and say, "This one will sell out in 1 hour." When I finally got a small fashion internship in Lagos, it paid nothing. But I took it anyway. He supported me, even paid my transport for the first month. "Go," he said, holding my hand tightly. "Don't let anyone clip your wings." Those words, they meant everything back then. Lagos hit me like a slap. Loud, fast, ruthless. The people didn't care about your dreams. Rent was a nightmare, and the office had me running errands like an overpaid maid. I shared a one-room apartment with 3 other girls. I barely slept. But every night I kept sketching. Every rejection just sharpened me more. Every no built a version of me that refused to settle. I learned to ignore pity. I learned to swallow disappointment. And I learned that talent meant nothing without grit. 2 years later, I launched my own clothing line, Aduni Lagos, with just 150,000 naira I had saved from side gigs and donations. I created 5 dresses and begged an upcoming model to wear them. I took photos on my phone. The lighting was bad, but the designs were magic. It didn't explode immediately, but one Instagram post, one influencer wearing my dress, and everything changed. Overnight, I became a name. Orders flowed in. Brands started calling. Features in magazines, shows, photo shoots. I went from that girl from nowhere to the designer to watch. I called Emmanuel that day. He sounded happy, but also distant. "Wow, babe, you really did it." "We did it," I corrected. But deep down, something was off. The months rolled by. I invited him to events, offered him roles in the business, marketing, logistics, anything. He always had an excuse. "My schedule's tight right now. Let me focus on my own hustle first. I'm proud of you, but I'm not trying to live off your success." He said it like it was a compliment, but it felt like rejection. When I finally bought my first car, a small Corolla, I drove to see him. He barely looked at it. "Money's changing you," he said, and I'll never forget what I asked next. "Or are you just not growing with me?" He didn't reply. We broke up 3 weeks later, not with shouting, not even tears, just silence. One day he stopped calling, and I didn't call back. Sometimes the loudest endings are the quietest. Years passed. My brand became a force. Aduni Lagos became Aduni Africa. I traveled, collaborated internationally, even gave TEDx talks on creative entrepreneurship. I was featured in Forbes Africa's 30 Under 30. I had everything: fame, money, recognition. But some nights I still thought of him, the boy who loved me when I was nothing, and left when I had it all. Then last year, I saw him again. I was speaking at a youth empowerment event in Ibadan. Afterward, a man came up to me looking tired, older, familiar. "Aduni," he said. I turned. It was Emmanuel. My heart did a flip, not because I still loved him, but because of everything that hadn't been said. He smiled nervously. "You look powerful." "Thanks," I replied. "You look like life has happened." We sat outside under a mango tree near the venue. Just us, like old times. "I heard about you on CNN," he said. "I always knew you'd make it." "So why did you leave?" I finally asked. He was quiet. "Then, I didn't know how to handle your light." I looked at him, confused. "You stopped needing me," he continued, "and I couldn't accept that. I wanted to be your everything, but you were becoming someone bigger than anything I imagined." He paused, swallowing hard. "And I was afraid you'd leave me first." So he left. Before I could outgrow him, before I could prove the fear right. That night I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I forgave him, not because he asked me to, but because I had finally become everything he said I could be, with or without him. People often ask me if I still believe in love. I do, but I believe in loving yourself first, in never shrinking so someone else feels big enough to stay. He loved me when I was nothing, but I became everything after he left. And I'm not bitter. I'm just better.